Okay, guys. Little while ago, I got on board when I first bought my hookah from hookahjohn.com. I got on board with his little comparison review he was asking us to do. Me and 5 other Hookah Pro members were sent a 16-piece of Coconara coals and 16 pieces of Chronic Hookah natural coals. I have a good deal of experience with both, more so with Chronic Hookah than with Coconara. And in my experience, both previously and now, Coconaras tend to take a little bit longer to light, and are a little bit more inconsistent on their size. Any given box, you can have some that are like that thick, and then ones that are like that thick. And so, it makes heat management a little tiny bit more difficult, nothing too noticeable. And I think I've heard from some people that they think that Chronic Hookah coals burn hotter, just a little bit hotter than Coconaras, and I can't necessarily say anything about that. They both burn pretty hot. Coconaras tend to last a little bit longer, anywhere from 10, 15 to even up to a half hour longer, depending on exactly how it's set up and how much you're smoking and all that. But I generally get somewhere between 45 minutes to an hour out of my Chronic Hookah coals, and I get anywhere from an hour to an hour and a half out of my Coconaras. That being said, like I said, it takes the Coconaras a lot longer to light. When you have them on your burner, it generally takes a good deal longer for them to light up. They won't even miss you at all. Don't think that I'll always be gone. You know I've got you like a puppet in a palm of my hand. So you let me down. Sometimes I can. Sleep with one eye open. Never forget you will tell the brave one. Don't damn it, so sit down, you can't stop me. You can't stop me now. And the other big difference between them, the really big difference between Coconaras and Chronic Hookahs, as far as just the coal's performance anyways, is that Coconaras tend to ash a little bit cleaner. The Chronic Hookah coals put off more ash, and it's a little bit messier than the Coconaras, but they both put off a decent amount of ash, and they go a lot. The Coconara tools seem to be a little bit denser, but they're both very good coals. You can buy a 16-pack of Coconaras for, I want to say $4, and you can buy a kilo of Chronic Hookah egg coals for in the neighborhood of 14, I believe. The Coconara coals, completely note price. If you threw price out the window or you had as much money in the world as you could ever possibly need, and it didn't matter, Coconara probably gets a tiny edge because they last a little bit longer and they're a little bit less messy. However, I don't feel that the difference between the two coals is a big enough reason to spend the extra money on the Coconaras. It's like the difference between, like, I don't know, having a tinted sunroof and an untinted sunroof or something. It's a tiny difference, and it really doesn't matter to me. I don't think that it's worth the extra. It's quite a bit extra money for the Coconaras, and I really don't think it's worth it. I think the Chronic Hookah coals are about as close to perfect as you can come, really, without it. They're just a little bit too messy compared to the Coconara, and they don't last quite as long. But I love Chronic Hookah coals, so the only coals I use, I've gotten 2 16-packs of Coconaras, but they're both free, and I enjoy them. But like I said, I definitely prefer Chronic Hookah coals. But honestly, I love Chronic Hookah Quick Light coals. I'm never ordering any Chronic Hookah Naturals ever again. I won't, because I just use the Quick Lights. It solves the problem of the dirt, like the messiness and the way they ash. It like crumbles a lot easier. They're way more convenient because whereas Coconaras and Chronic Hookah Naturals take like, I don't know, up to 8 minutes to light, somewhere between 5 to 8 minutes. And the Chronic Hookah Instant Lights light in like a minute and a half if you put it on the stove. And if you just light it with a lighter, it takes like maybe a minute, maybe. They, honestly, to me, the perfect coal on the market is Chronic Hookah Instant Light coals. Pick them up. But just between the Chronic Hookah Instant Lights and the Coconara, not Chronic Hookah Instant Lights. Stop saying Instant Light, Brandon. Between the Chronic Hookah Naturals and the Coconara coals, I'd say that the edge, without price, goes to Coconara. But in the end, I'd say the edge goes to Chronic Hookah just for the price. Because $14 for like 130 coals or something is ridiculous. It's such a deal. It took me like 3-4 months to go through a box of Chronic Hookah coals. And yeah, it's a fantastic deal. I would just like to take a second to thank John for sending out these coals to me. This review is completely impartial, I promise. Scout's honor and all that shit. But yeah, thanks to John from ChronicHookah.com for being a great vendor for supplying these coals to me. And that's all I got for you. They both great coals. I give them both 10 out of 10. But you have to choose. You have to choose which one you prefer. I have, like I said, I have one each on top of a Vortex bowl filled with not Chronic Hookah. I cannot talk tonight. Vortex bowl with Hookah 7 spice in it. Getting pretty big clouds. Getting good flavor. It's good stuff. They're both great coals, like I said. I'm just kind of repeating myself at this point. Anyways, as you saw in the pictures, the difference in how long it takes them to light, and I just gave you a 7-minute spiel about what they're like. Go Chronic Hookah. You're the man, John. Peace.